Good morning, everybody. Jordan Burke, your friendly neighborhood club fitter. So, want to talk about one of the cool things that I can do now that we are in the bay. We could do this prior to it, but it's kind of hard to when um, didn't really have very good internet access, and it's kind of hard using the cellular data on your phone. It's not as fast or as efficient as I'd like it to be, so it's becomes a time-consuming thing. And so, this is one of the things that I've always been preaching and talking about in terms of how efficient this is going to become with the building and whatnot. So we have access to some software through Ping, and it's not strictly dedicated for only Ping clubs. Yes, it caters to them, but it's not necessarily for them. You can use it with any brand as long as you're just matching up the lofts of whatever it suggests. So I want to just show you very briefly what it is. So what we end up doing, and I've punched it in already just to make sure it's running fast enough. But basically what you end up doing is you pick out kind of the iron model you're looking at. Are we looking at a player's cavity back? Think like a Titleist T100, what you see the guys on TV playing with or girls on TV playing with. You could have a power players club, distance club, like a P790 or a Zuno 245. Those would fall under that category. Callaway Apex, the older model Apex, that would fall in that category as a kind of a player's distance category. And then you also have your other stuff where you're looking at the oversized forgiving cavity back. So you're looking at a 7-iron loft of 34 degrees, 30 degrees, and then sometimes like 27 degrees. So you have your player's cavity back, your power spec, or your player's distance, and then you have your game improvement, oversized forgiving stuff. So whichever iron model you fit into, or we put you into, or whatever you're bringing to me, we can do this to see what your bag setup would look like. So down here you decide if you want to use set wedges or specialty wedges. Think of it as, do I want a gap wedge and sand wedge that matches my iron set? Do I want a Vokey SM10 or a Ping S159 or a Jaws raw wedge from Callaway? What the highest loft is, gives you a recommendation for the set makeup in terms of wedges. You should decide what your lowest lofted fairway wood is. Now, some people will be 7 wood, some are 5 wood, some are 3 wood. Everybody is different because it comes into their delivery conditions as to what we'll be putting them into. Same thing, we put in kind of our ball speed stuff, what I fit you into basically, how fast the ball leaves the club face with a 7-iron, the launch angle, the spin rate. All those things will determine give you a rough idea what the rest of your bag will look like. And then you actually enter in your playing conditions. Normally this time of year, I would say it's firm here, but there's medium, there's soft. You actually will punch in your zip code to give you your typical playing conditions. So we're Bonita Bay 34134. If I hit search, it's going to change. If I do this and I hit, yep, it changes the playing temperature, and then it actually takes the altitude down to 0. So cool thing about this is if you head back to any of the northern states or anywhere else in the United States, basically everywhere outside of here is not as far below sea level as what we are. So anything with elevation, you can actually do this and it'll actually change your yardages for you based on your location. So we take a look at results. And what's going to come up is it's going to give me gapping or yardages for how far every club in my bag will go. And these are all carry distances up here. I can actually take and toggle this and say I want to see what the total yardage is going to be, or I want to see what the carry yardage is going to be, and I can actually fine tune some stuff. So, and down here, there's a thing called the swap zone where it's saying, okay, yeah, for example, like I plugged in my stuff, I tend to hit it low, kind of launch it low, and so I kind of exaggerated it just so I'd have some other options in here. Basically, it gave me a 3 wood, 7 wood, 5 hybrid, and then into a 5-iron. And the distances down here, it'll actually give me estimated trajectories in terms of how high everything will go. Come down here and actually gives me an entire gapping table of how far everything in my bag goes. So now, one cool thing we do is, let's say I don't want to have a 7 wood, or I don't think I should have a 7 wood, or I'm against a 7 wood, or just I don't like the look of a 7 wood. I can actually come down here and click on 7 wood, and it'll give me the option to change that club, and it'll say, oh, you can swap it out for a 4 hybrid, and I can actually click 4 hybrid, and it'll actually show me, I didn't point it out there when I did that, but it'll actually give me the distance difference and the height difference going from a 7 wood to a 4 hybrid. So then it changes the yardages that everything goes in terms of the 4 hybrid and the 5 hybrid and how that fits in here. And if we go down here, it'll actually change how far it went, because originally that 7 wood was listed at like 240-ish, and now my 4 hybrid saying it's going to go 245 or 235, excuse me. So very cool stuff. And we can actually plug and play different things in there to see what would happen in terms of, hybrids to fairy woods, or fairy woods to hybrids, and hybrids to iron. So you can actually see what happens trajectory wise, what it predicts, and then like how I look at this and bring it into all the other brands that we use. Is all I'm trying to do is just match the lofts up. That's very much it. The hybrid number doesn't matter. I just want the loft number to match up. So really cool stuff that we have here. If you have any questions about gapping, if that's something that you are very interested in, the other thing is we actually can save this as a PDF and send it out to you, so you have a copy for yourself. So this is definitely hugely beneficial to what we can do here in the building and make things a lot faster, more efficient, and where you don't have to be beating golf balls for a couple hours if you're looking at a full back fitting. So if you have any questions, you want to reach out, feel free to email me, jordanb@b2bayclub.net. And if you want to set up an appointment, email me or contact the golf shop. Thank you all. Have a great day.